How is it going, guys? And today's operator guide will be on the new Italian operator, Alibi. Now for Alibi's primary choices, she does have the MX4 Storm. This weapon does have a really high rate of fire. Now this gun does have a good amount of recoil, but the pattern's pretty predictable, so it's not that hard to manage. Now because of that, this gun can be used up close or very far, but it is preferred to use it up close because it does have that high rate of fire. And that shouldn't be any issue since Alibi is a really fast operator. Now for her second choice of weapon, it is the ACS-12 shotgun. Now this shotgun is the very first automatic shotgun introduced into Siege. So now this shotgun actually has two really important things about it. One being that it has a really huge magazine size, and the second being it has a great amount of spread, so you could easily destroy structures pretty fast. And on top of this, what's really good about Alibi is the fact that they give her a lot of ammo with her shotgun. So now when you need to destroy areas like Kid's bedroom, you don't have to worry about consuming your ammo. Now for Alibi's sidearm, she actually does have really two interesting weapons, and that is the Karatos 357 and the Belief 410. Now the Karatos is actually a revolver with a lot of damage but barely any recoil, which makes it a really good sidearm. Now for the Belief 410, it actually has mini shells inside of it and it shoots 4 pellets at a time per shot, but keep in mind that it does have very limited range to it, so you actually have to be pretty close to an enemy for the Belief to actually do a lot of damage to them. Now for me, I do think that the Karatos is the better sidearm. It does have a lot of damage and no recoil to it. So since it doesn't have really much recoil to it, it actually is pretty good for shooting someone pretty far away. So that's why I pick it over the Belief 410. Now for Alibi's gadgets, she does have the impact grenades or the deployable shield. In most cases, I would say pick the impact grenade, especially for her, because she is a 3-speed operator, but the deployable shield is really useful with her special ability. So if your game style is really aggressive, you should probably pick the impact grenades. If you're more passive, then I probably suggest to pick the deployable shield. Now Alibi's special ability is her prismas. These are basically holograms that look just like Alibi. Now keep in mind these only look like Alibi's default skins and weapon, so if you decide to change your helmet or uniform and even put any attachments on your primary weapon, the hologram won't look like you. But this doesn't really matter because a lot of the time Alibi's gadget works because of the reflexes of the other player. But you do need to watch out for drones if you are trying to play a hologram, because the drones can't spot your gun and it's very easy for the enemy then to peek you. Now another unique thing about the hologram is the fact that if you throw it outside, the attacking team will be notified that a defender is outside, and on top of that, the other defenders actually get their identities hidden if they are outside. Now the hologram itself would only get pinged a couple times before going away. Now there are actually a lot of things you could do with her hologram. For instance, you can make it look like the hologram's gonna spawn peek someone. Once the enemy shoots it, they won't really shoot it again, and after that you simply just walk up to the hologram to replace it and you could get an easy spawn peek out of it. Another really cool thing you could do is actually put 2 holograms right next to you and stand still as the enemy is entering the room. A lot of the times they will hesitate to shoot you, and that could get you an easy kill. Finally, one last tip about her gadget is that you could simply use it to help your teammates do a run out. It just takes simple timing, and once you get that down, it's actually pretty simple to use. Now for Alibi's role in the team, she actually is one of the best defenders to pick now. Since Alibi does have those holograms, it's pretty easy to handle multiple enemies. Now Alibi actually does get into the attacker's head because now when they aim at you, they actually have to think about whether it's actually you or the hologram. Now with Alibi, that peeker's advantage isn't that great anymore. Now thanks to your holograms, most times when an enemy does shoot those holograms, a lot of the time they are going to have second thoughts before shooting you. Now the last thing that's actually really useful about Alibi is the fact that she could actually play a roamer and an anchor. Now due to her hologram, she could actually hold angles a lot of defenders can't. Alibi can even use some simple angles just like holding down a door because those holograms are there. And this is why I truly think she does make a great anchor for the defending team. Now I'm going to be rating Alibi on 3 things, which is loadout, gadget, and team efficiency. Now for Alibi's loadout, I am going to give her a 10 out of 10. Alibi's submachine gun is a really reliable gun. It has a really fast rate of fire, and honestly the recoil is pretty manageable. Now for a shotgun, that thing is pretty dangerous since it does have that drum magazine with it. And there's no other weapon out there in Siege that could destroy an entire wall like this shotgun, and it's fully automatic. And on top of that, you get a lot of ammo for that shotgun, so wasting bullets is not an issue. And for her handguns, those are just as unique as her primaries. One handgun does have a lot of power, but very little recoil to it, and the other one shoots 4 pellets at a time. Overall, she gets amazing choices for weapons, so that's why I give her a 10 out of 10 for her loadout. Now for her gadget, I am going to give her a 9 out of 10. Now for Alibi's hologram, she did change a lot of the gameplay for a lot of players. Now a lot of the experienced players can't simply rely on getting really good headshots on people. As most players know in Siege, reaction time is a huge thing in the game. Now with Alibi's gadget, it does change the whole aspect of the attacking team because a lot of the players won't react as quick, and they will have to think twice before shooting. Despite having all these positives to the hologram, there are 2 things that are slightly negative. One being that a Twitch drone could easily take out these holograms if she is using her drone around the map. And the second being that the hologram does not look like you if you add attachments or change your uniform. But besides this, I think her gadget is one of the most useful gadgets in the game right now, so that's why she gets a 9 out of 10 for her gadget. Now for her team efficiency, I am going to give her a 9 out of 10. Now the one thing Alibi does really well is basically slow down the attacker's reaction time, and this could help out the entire team as a whole. And this is actually a really huge thing, and it's kind of subtle, but it does make a huge difference in a round. And I think just because of this simple fact, she does really deserve a 9 out of 10 for her team efficiency. Now rounding all 3 scores up, she does get a 9 out of 10 for her overall score. Well guys, that's the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please hit that like button. Also, if you want to be notified of my next video, please subscribe and hit that bell icon. And once again guys, thanks for watching.